Repeat it.
Huh?
Mute, mute the power.
But Bala, let it settle first before we share. This will सबको unmute कर दे because when they move that. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. keep playing. Don't cut the live stream out. Cut the live stream out. This is mute. Blank. If it is blinking, you are live.
So you already flipped. This is the 15-second lag. It's going to go back to that.
Cut the live stream out.
This is on.
Not, Hello and good morning, everybody. We are live from the 2023 US Open Carrom Championship happening here in the beautiful city of Frederick, Maryland. This is one of the commentators, Bala Parthasarathi, and I'm here with my co-commentator, Subbu Lakshminarayanapuram. Hello, Subbu. How are you doing today?
Great, Bala. Great opportunity. It's pleasure giving commentary in the US Open semi-final, and we have a tight schedule, big schedule today, and it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and Subbu, you know, this is the first time this prestigious event is happening in this beautiful state of Maryland, so close to the capital of the nation, Washington, D.C. You know, Lakshmi Turo Carrom Association, the local chapter of United States Carrom Association here in Maryland, they've done a wonderful job. We've had a fantastic 2 full days of Carrom, and this is day 3, Championship Sunday, and we are at the ballroom of the Hampton Inn in Frederick, Maryland, where 128 players from all over the globe, actually, not just the country. We have representation from 8 different countries.
We are from India, Holland, Singapore, United States,
Canada,
Yes. United Kingdom.
Absolutely. And you know, this venue has been pretty, I think, you know, in terms of how easily it was able to accommodate and, you know, the facilities that we've had, right? So I think our finalists are just about ready to go.
I had a talk with the players, international players in particular. They found this place very hospitable. Hospitality was excellent, easily approachable from the airport or by road. So they are very comfortable in this hotel cum, lodging cum, boarding, everything available.
Fantastic. And here's the schedule for today, guys. This is the program. The first thing in the morning, we're ready to get started in the next few minutes with the singles semifinals. And right after that, after a very short break, we'll start the doubles finals. And there'll be a lunch break between the doubles finals and the singles finals. And during that time, we're going to have what has become a tradition here with our USCA events. We have a Kids Carrom 101 event headed by Coach Sam Malisetti. We have 40 local kids that have signed up for the event. They'll come get instruction from various different coaches. They'll get to play and get their hands dirty and get live instruction. And they will also get to meet our champions and get some autographs and selfies with them. This is the 4th consecutive year that we are doing this, and it's usually a big hit. And right after that, we will have the grand finale starting around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and finally we'll wrap it up with our closing ceremony and the award ceremony. And here is our final 4. After 2 full days of battling it out through hundreds of matches, here you go. All right, Subbu, do the honors. Who are our top 4?
Our top 4, after the Swiss League and the pre-quarter and quarterfinals, the semi-final lined up is like this. Yogesh Pardeshi from India, Chamal Kore from Holland, Dinesh Babu from India, Anil Vemuri from India. So the matchup for one semi-final is Chamal Kure versus Yogesh Pardeshi. Me and Balas Parthasarathi will be covering this stream live.
Yeah, and the other semifinals is happening in parallel. You can also watch that on our YouTube channel. But this particular stream is covering the semifinals 1, which is happening between the 3-time world champion Yogesh Pardeshi and the 14-time Sri Lankan national champion and the most feared international player Chamal Kure, who now resides in the Netherlands, Subbu, as you said. And Subbu, let me ask you a quick question. Are you surprised by the lineup we have here for the semifinals?
Not really. All these 4 players they have been making headlines in the last 15-20 years. And I'm amazed that even after 20 years, the world champion, for example, Yogesh Pardeshi, has the same dedication passion for this game, and easily, this man is very friendly, approachable. He teaches you ask him any question, he'll come forward to help you out. Chamil Kore, originally from Sri Lanka, moved to Holland. I've been watching him in the last 8 years, and he's another great person, very helping nature. They are all so much. They have won so many titles, so they've come out very well.
Yes, and it's going to be an exciting semifinals, and we'll talk more, Subbu, about these great players as we go through the match. And now let's cut to the Hello everyone and welcome to the 2023 US Open Carrom Championship happening right here in the beautiful city of Frederick, Maryland. And the first board of the first semifinals just got completed between Yogesh Pardesi and Chamil Kure. Apologies, we had a bit of a technical difficulty in the beginning, so the audio was not very clear. We will tell you more about the championship so far, but let's follow the match now. This is your commentator, Bala Parthasarathi, and I'm here with my co-commentator, Subbu. Hello,
morning,
Subbu.
Good morning, everyone. Exciting. Game number 1 in the semi-final, best of 3. The first board just got completed. Yogesh Pardesi won the first board with 4 points. You can see the score on the screen. Okay, now Yogesh Pardesi will take the next strike. That's the board number 2. He has racked the coins so nicely. Look at him, going back and setting up the coin. He's going to take a strike. Okay. Meanwhile, Chamil Kure will be observing what his opponent is doing. Now he's going for a break, and what a nice break. See, look at the distribution of the coins. Okay, scattered more on the right hand side of the of Yogesh. Okay, now how they go about this is, and Yogesh is very particular, pays more attention to the sequence of coins which he selects, because that will set him up for more number of coins and probably convert an ordinary break into a real opening for a slam. Okay.
And Subbu, what did you think about the first board? It seemed like Chamil had a fantastic break and a great run. But
So-
then Yogesh,
Yes. What happened?
he cleared up most of the blacks.
Yes, what happened was, after pocketing four coins, Chamil went for a pull. That pull brought a couple of key black coins, and Yogesh Pardesi took advantage of that pull, and it converted into his
Oh,
favor.
what a beautiful hook cannon that was.
It looks so mechanical when they do that pull or hook. It's very calculated. That's it'll come by experience, and you can see them.
That was another brilliant. I find it hard to do the turning shot, even forward. Doing it on a rebound, this man is not human.
So whatever they do, there is a point of contact even when you are not pocketing.
Oh
It
my
has to
God!
be
Did you
done.
see that shot?
Yes.
I think he combined 4 or 5 different shots into one.
Connecting is a very tough job.
What do you think now? Does he have a clean position? Does he have a line of sight on the queen?
One,
Like he's going for it. Okay.
I think he positioned for his next turn, because he didn't have a clear chance of finishing. So let's see now what Chamil Kure is doing. He has got 4 coins he should be able to pocket. The other 3 are a little bit of blocked, and also I think the queen is on Yogesh's baseline. So let's see. And he might have to do something with the Yogesh's 2 white there. So he might, yes, he put-
Brilliant.
brilliant. He not only he removed that which was a block for him, and brought that white onto his base. Now immediately Yogesh on his turn went back to bring that white back onto the near his baseline. That's what it is. So one player plays a defensive game, and another player brings back. So the tussle goes there until that coin comes to rest in a particular position.
Let's see now. Yogesh has the queen, and the cover is not in a particularly difficult position.
I remember this particular, he might do a double punch straight on the baseline. No, he's going on the other side, touching the black and
He's
pushing
attempting
it.
knocking shot.
Yes. Oh, he did
And
it.
there you go, guys.
It was so close. So now So what the beauty in this is, he has read that many people might think that he doesn't have a proper cover, right? But they are so experienced that he knows there is a knocking shot. What is that knocking shot is slightly different from glance. It touches the black with the right in the right contact area, and it slips into the nearby pocket. The distance between that knocked coin and the pocket was so very minimal, so it was very easy. Now we go back to the scores. What the scores? 11.
11-0. Yogesh with a huge lead. Let's see if Chamil can get back on the scoreboard in this third board here.
Generally what happens is, when now Chamil's first objective will be to cut down on this. He's trailing by 11 points. He has to come up to 11, then go on the lead, and Yogesh Bhai will prevent that from happening. So that's the normal strategy.
Let's see what Yogesh does.
So Yogesh's turn. It was Chamil's break in this third board of the first game. Oh, what a beautiful glance! And he pocketed his coin. And let's see, he has a couple of options, but as I said, the sequencing is important. So he selects his coin, which will give him an opening for the next one. Let's see. Oh, okay.
That was an uncharacteristic miss. It almost looked like a stroke failure.
It looked like a stroke failure, but Bala, what I thought was, maybe he did it intentionally to keep a cover on the other side.
That's an interesting point of view, Subbu.
Yeah.
I never considered that.
Because it was not going directly to the opponent, it might look he missed it, but sometimes it is intentional. Is he going for the queen? Yes.
He is indeed.
So he set up his cover in the earlier stroke, but he might, which one he will go? Probably he will go to the same coin. Yes, so that looks like it was a setup, nicely set up, and the queen.
Yogesh takes the queen again. Chamil must not be happy about that because he needed the queen, because the lead is rather significant pretty early in this first semifinals of the 2023 US Open Carrom Championship.
Oh, okay. So now if you look at this Chamil's position, he has got one white which was straight going to the pocket, but he cannot take that because it was blocking one of. Oh,
Beautiful
this
defense
is a
by
beautiful
Yogesh.
cross rolling out and bringing the white onto the base. Okay. Oh.
Nicely done by Chamil. So in this position, since neither player has a clear finish, it's the battle of patience. Do you think he's going for a knocking shot for the black on his bottom left? And indeed he did.
This is unimaginable. I never thought what he's doing it. He saw that angle, and which I saw in the earlier game in one of the practice session. He was doing this. You see, onto his left pocket the coin went black. Many of you would have thought, I thought he's doing something different. No. That means he has already read that position some time ago, correct?
Nice punch by Chamil.
Unusual miss.
Unusual, that's probably the nerves kicking in, because he could see the finish line.
Yes. trailing by 11 points, adding to the pressure, and Yogesh has every chance to finish this board and go on the lead. Oh, okay. Nicely done. Even he missed it, he still blocked. Okay, see another stroke. Glance and making defense come offense. Here he might pocket both.
A brilliant finish by Chamil, and there you go. Chamil Kure from the Netherlands, originally of Sri Lanka, is back in business.
So, right moment he took a board. We are into the fourth board now. 3 boards complete, and the scores 11-1 in favor of Yogesh Pardeshi.
Once again, folks, you're watching the semifinals number 1 of the 2023 US Open Carrom Championships, happening right here in the beautiful city of Frederick, Maryland. And your commentators for the match are myself, Bala Parthasarathi, and here with me is Subbu.
Welcome, guys. Are we not looking at the real-time scores update? And this is coming from a software. This is paperless scoring system. Whole event, how many matches? I will tell you in a short while. All newly introduced paperless scoring system, well, easily understandable by the players, and they are all updating the scores on their phone, and it is captured and into the real time and what you are seeing it. In the meantime, board number 4, Yogesh had a nice break. He's going to
and it's he has a couple of open coins. It's important to also highlight the fact that so far in the tournament, after so many rounds of Swiss round robin games and 2 rounds of knockouts, pre-quarterfinals and quarterfinals, we have seen only 2 white slams, and both by Yogesh.
I may just add, did not Preeti from United States hit a slam, white slam against Chamil Kure?
Oh, I stand corrected. You are correct, Subbu. There have been 3 white slams so far in the tournament, 2 by Yogesh Pardeshi and 1 by Preeti. We'll talk more about that, and we will play those clips later in today's program. But let's get back to the board here.
Meanwhile, the turn passed to Chamil. He has pocketed 1 coin. Now,
Chamil is one of the most aggressive players in the sport. Right? Wouldn't you say so, Subbu?
Absolutely. Sri Lankan players, he has spent most of his time with Nishanto Fernando, another world champion. He won the title in 2012 in Sri Lanka. And Chamil has partnered him in doubles, and they have won major events.
Oh, they have won the team championship at the World Cup, right?
Yes.
And Chamil led the Sri Lankan team.
Yes.
Causing a big upset.
Yes.
And when they are completing this board and when they are setting it up, we'll give you a little bit more background about these players.
Meanwhile, look at that. 2 strokes earlier, the board was in a different position. Now, he cleared most of his coins, at the same time kept one of Yogesh's coin on his base. Now that's the coin, so that he's making sure that he will get a turn back. But here he will use like a bomb shot. He might do that, do a cross he's pocketing and doubling that. This is a very clear indication that he has seen an opening coming for a finish, which is not easy to connect 2 blacks in the wine. But since he did another just stopped in front of the pocket.
Unusual miss, but it happens. It's relatively early in the day as well as early in the match.
Chamil Kure, little nervous. He connected the white to the black, and that means he was going little defensive, right? So again, Yogesh pocketed his coin and made 1 more coin of Chamil. Little difficult. Now he's going for a punch, right side punch. He should get it. No, he missed it. It was not easy because the black probably touched the black. So even though Chamil missed in his earlier stroke, it came in his favor. Let's see how he is going to double that coin probably. He's opening it.
Brilliant shot by Chamil. An offense-defense combo. He released his blacks and beautifully pulled Yogesh's white to his base.
Fantastic. That was
an equally amazing reply from the grand champion.
That's what you will see many of this
Cat and mouse.
catch up. Yes. But what I liked in that Chamil's double
beautiful,
pull,
beautiful.
He pulled Yogesh's white onto his base. That's a different type of thinking.
Absolutely. Cannot agree with you more. Another
Okay.
brilliant
Another-
attempt by Chamil.
Here there is a chance of Yogesh's might go for a finish, but which one he will take first. If he doesn't take that coin which he is now about to take, obviously.
Now watch this, Subbu. He's also attempting an offense-defense combo. Oh no, actually
No,
not.
he went for a defense. He thought of that block. If he takes that, because Chamil, if he would have glanced the white and pocketed that one. So the white he would have brought it onto his base. So Yogesh avoided that. Did
That's
not give
really,
him scope for
it's
glance.
all
Yes.
about playing for the odds and retaining the advantage, positional advantage.
Yes.
Isn't
He
it?
just missed that rebound, otherwise he would have finished. Now what will Chamil do? Probably he will double this coin and slightly touch that black in front of the white. Let's see, is he going for the cut? So nice double touch near his right bottom base. Now,
Subbu, I have a question
Yeah.
about the stroke that Yogesh just played. It was a fairly easy coin, sitting just an inch away from the pocket. Why do players like Yogesh still take a long time and play that shot so patiently? It appears as though they have doubts. Is that the case, or is there some special significance for the last coin?
simple. If you look at any of his strokes, he has a methodology to follow, the process which he follows. What is his objective? He has to pocket that coin. How he pockets doesn't matter. Fine, coin must enter the pocket. So on double touch, it can just slip and come to his base. So
So are you talking about the last coin that he attempted?
no, the one earlier that double touch.
Okay, I will talk more about that when we are between the next two boards. Meanwhile, after halfway through the first game of the first semifinals, Yogesh with a significant lead of 13-1.
So some catch up Chamil has to do. 4 boards completed. This is 8 boards each game in a best of 3.
That's right. And also there is no time limit for each game. They are going to be allowed to play the full 8 boards or 25 points, whichever happens first. And it will be a best of 3 sets.
Too early to think what will be the outcome of the first game. We are at the halfway stage. 4 completed, 5th in progress, 13 points to 1 in favor of Yogesh Pardeshi. What a beautiful cut. It's almost between the other coins. You could push that into the pocket. His
Right.
shots are so well timed.
And so delicate. He does not touch anything else that doesn't need to be moved.
So
Both the speed and the angle and the whatever reconfigurations he does on the board.
you might have, I observed in the last 3 days of Yogesh's game, his coin never bounced from the pocket any time, not a single time. So the right amount of force he applies, you ask me why he takes so much time.
Beautiful shot by Shamil.
Yeah.
You know, the shot he just played, for whatever reason, if you know the answer, you tell me. Players in India call it the Justin shot.
Oh,
I have no idea who's Justin,
it's,
but it's called the Justin shot.
okay. You see, he probably pulling that white onto the
And
place.
releasing the black. You know, Yogesh always thinks of what else can I get from this stroke, right?
Yes. So these players, what I have seen is, we see in chess game, they think ahead of couple of moves. Here too, these people know what will happen, what the opponent will do, and what are the options. You know, if the move is changed, if the stroke is changed by the opponent, they are
Nice try.
oh, nice punch. But even though some of these punches, they go at the right time, but sometimes it's a defensive, just go and keep it near the pocket. It will come handy as the queen is still on the board, so he needs a good cover. There is only one white there, correct? Yes.
There are two whites on the board. And a lot of players have remarked how they are seeing a more different Yogesh in this tournament. He seems to be a man on the mission. And even a couple of minutes ago, we saw him attempting some really aggressive strokes. You know, some may even call them as gallery shots, which are not generously employed by Yogesh. And you know, some people here have started jokingly calling him Yogesh 2.0.
One observation I recently started looking into the top players. Voila. Look at that release finger. How far it goes behind. From there they adjust the force. I saw Sandeep Dive, world champion. He used, all these players also use lock grip. Okay, so they get some natural extra force. So meanwhile, it's board number 5 in progress. Yogesh Bhai leading by 13-1 against Chamal in the US Open 2023, event being played in Frederick, Maryland, United States. So we are back on board number 5. Is he going for a finish?
Brilliant,
Nicely done.
brilliant.
He might go for a cut or a double. Let's wait and watch. He went for a double touch. He did not go for a double. Probably could have caught. If they missed it, it could have caught. Let's see, Chamal, he missed it. Oh, badly missed it. He missed, it touched and there was some deviation there. So Yogesh wins another board, that is board number 5.
And you know, Subbu, these two players are no strangers to each other's styles. They have been playing against each other for very many years now, and they also have a healthy admiration for each other's games as well as each other's personalities. I was chatting with Chamil earlier today, and he said that no matter what happens, he's a huge fan of Yogesh Pardesi. Yogesh is considered as one of the all-time greatest players ever to have played the sport. Some may even say the greatest. And if I'm not mistaken, he's the only Carrom player to have won a hat-trick world title.
Absolutely.
No mean feat. Board number 6, Yogesh with a gigantic lead of 17-1 after 5 boards.
Well, game number 1 seems to be well under control of Yogesh. 6th board has been his break, so there is one more break if the board game extends to the 8th board. So he will have that also in his mind. Meanwhile, Chamil has got only one more break, that is board number 7. If it goes to board number 7, so after this board, you will see little bit how far it goes. So why I'm saying this is these great players can come back into the game by hitting a white slam. Okay, I'm hoping that there will be one in the semi-final.
I hope so too. The only difference being, I hope we'll see more than one.
I would love to see that because it gives viewers are looking forward to that.
Absolutely. You know, for viewers who may not be familiar with the term, a slam in Carrom is where a player finishes all of their coins in their very first turn. If they are playing the white color and if they do a break to finish, it's called a white slam. And if they are playing blacks, when they get their first turn, if they pocket all their blacks, including the queen, if it is still in play, it's called a black slam. And so far in this tournament, we have seen a total of 5 slams, 3 white slams, 2 by Yogesh, 1 by Preeti Jakotia of USA, and 1 black slam by Rashmi Kumari of India, the current world champion for the women's. And Madhu Kalia also hit a white slam. He's also from the USA. He's part of the US men's team. Getting back to the game here, Yogesh is well within striking distance of the finish line.
Bala, we have so many international players participating here. How our players, we are from the United States.
We are not at all biased.
So
we are winking if you can't see us.
How, what I understand is players have approached all these champions and they are giving us excellent feedback. I know I have been talking with Yogesh last 10 days and I have asked him so many questions. Even
right.
after 40 years of my Carrom life.
You know, Subbu, I want to talk about that. I have a lot of thoughts on the topic.
Mhm.
We will certainly discuss that at great length in just a few moments.
Sure. Meanwhile, Yogesh leading by 17-1, 5 boards completed, 6th in progress, Chamil's turn. Oh, Chamil is probably getting into some rhythm now. That was a very nice cut. Oh, wonderful shot.
Very nice,
Wonderful shot.
very measured. You know, these are the moments that we can learn. You know,
Okay.
here's a position where Chamil seemingly had the advantage up until 5 seconds ago.
So what happened, Bala? What I am saying is, Yogesh's 3 whites are not easily pocketable. Fine? They are scattered and there are blocks. But Yogesh realized that his position...
Beautiful, beautiful shot.
Okay, that's another... This board seems to be in favor of Chamil Kure. If he takes this, yes. So that he wins his second board.
Chamil survives Subbu's commentator's curse. Good
No,
prediction,
no.
Subbu.
7, board number 7. That's the opportunity for a white slam now.
That's right. And you know, a lot of times players underestimate the importance of board numbers 5 and 6 because if they snooze during the middle of the game, it becomes too late. They wake up too late in the 7th board or the 8th board with too many points to make in too few boards.
Look at this stage now. 17-4 in favor of Yogesh. 7th board in progress. He has to get big points in this board to be in the game for the 8th board. So what's the difference? 13 points. If you hit a slam, it will come down to 1 point difference. The beautiful break. 3 coins went in. He has got, let's see how he's progressing. Another one. As they continues to pocket coin, they gain in confidence. Okay, is he going for a cut or pull? Okay, pull. So he's not very keen. There was no chance for to take a risk and forego the board. So he played a defensive game because he can minimize the difference.
Well,
which is
Chamil
good.
really needs this board. It's already a 13-point difference. If he loses this board, he loses the set.
Correct. But if you could get 6, 7 or 8,
Any more than one is enough, technically.
yeah. So if Chamil can get 6 or 7, the lead will come down to again 6 or 7, right? So, but it is Yogesh's break. That also we should think. And these people's break are generally very good. Okay. Chamil is trapped actually in this because one of losing the first game comes to the mind. There is not clear opening here.
Well, that happens to people like you and me, but these guys are big champions. Do you think they succumb to these human problems of pressure, an opponent having a lead, things like that?
Oh, this carom game is like that. Okay, it's a player's creative. If the players have worked their mental aspect for such situation, it will come handy for them. They play so many events, unlike we people in North America. We have only major events and smaller events, but the way United States have progressed from the pandemic time, our carom has grown enormously. Online game to local chapters. We have many local chapters across United States, and everybody is working hard to do something during the weekend to organize a small event. And I saw in this US Open players. Okay, so players have progressed. Their skill level has gone up. Okay, they need to continue this in the next 2-3 years. You will find a big United States strong team who will compete with India.
Very
Yes.
well said indeed, Subbu. You know, yesterday we witnessed something truly magical. In the quarterfinals, in one of the 4 quarterfinals between RD Dinesh Babu of India and Vikas Kosti of USA, we witnessed one of the best carom moments, almost comparable to the drama level of the now world famous, the most watched carom video on the internet, that one board between Sandeep Deorkar and Chamil Kure. We'll talk more about that in just a minute, as we can get back to the game here and see if Chamil can take this set to the 8th board.
Very interesting. Bala was mentioning about Sandeep Deorkar and Chamil Kure. That was in, I think, ICF 2015 tournament in Delhi.
Oh, a double due.
Double duo.
And you're right about that, Subbu. It was the ICF Cup in 2015. And a little tidbit for our viewers here. That particular video on Pierre Dubois' Carom Pierre channel has amassed upwards of 17 million views. The most watched carom video on the internet.
And many players, like including me, have watched that video at least minimum 10 times.
So 10 million is from Subbu and another 7 million from me.
So that what Bala was saying about the match between
Vikas Kosti.
Vikas Kosti and Dinesh Babu. We'll come more onto that. Meanwhile, very interesting stage in board number 7. Yogesh trying to win this board. Chamil wants this board desperately. With some of the, as it takes more time to finish this board, the coins are getting reduced. So it's going more in favor of Yogesh Pardeshi. The difference is already 13. Okay, so if
Very
Yogesh wins
interesting.
this board, very well, this is over. Game 1 will be Yogesh in his favor. That so it's a little bit of defense. Well, you see the queen there.
No, there is no queen.
There is no queen
I
there,
believe
so-
the queen has already been covered. We'll find out.
Not able to see that.
That's right.
Yeah.
The lighting is a bit of a glare that makes it a teeny weeny bit harder to see the queen. But
He tried a knocking shot like, but it was not knocking, more of
a press.
push Press push,
Yeah, I don't know. Some of these carom shots, they need better terminology.
Yes.
But I like the Justin shot. I would never change the name of that because I have no idea what it is. What a beautiful
what
shot! What a
cut,
beautiful shot!
and he wins the board, but how many points? Let's wait. Board number 7 won by Chamel,
Sounds like Chamel took the queen because they're still racking it up.
but
17 to 5, exactly 12 points, Subbu.
yes. So one more turn.
The 8th board is meaningful.
So how this can
And
possibly happen?
now is the time to talk about Dinesh versus Vikas yesterday.
Very similar, but
In the quarterfinals, the first set was won by Dinesh, and in the second set, Dinesh was leading 21 to 10 after 7 boards, and the 8th break was Dinesh's. And he did a good break, but he did not pocket any whites, and Vikas converted that failed break into a black slam, scoring 12 points and bagging the second set and taking Dinesh to the third game. And it was not an easy slam by any stretch of imagination, considering the timing of it, the need for it, and absolutely mind-boggling execution on every single shot. He played like 10 gallery shots in a row. There was no clear position, and we will play a clipping of that later during our lunch break. Stay tuned to our channel. Now let's
more
get
on
back.
that, we have to get back onto that. It's such an important slam. Meanwhile, Yogesh Pardeshi has taken the break strike for the 8th board, and he has already pocketed 2 coin. So very much he has won this first game. Okay,
That's
but
right.
nothing said. Can be multiple dues and etc. So I'll wait for his turn to get over Chamel before.
That was Yogesh appreciating a nice shot from Chamel. You know, these folks here, they are not only great players, they're also truly great sportsmen that appreciate both their opponents as well as they have a huge amount of respect for the game itself. It is just so inspiring
Yeah.
to watch them in action.
These players, they're all like a family. They help each other. They can approach. When players approach another player to get good feedback, that's the.
You know, I take that as the segue to talk about what I wanted to talk about. You mentioned the word, this Carrom community is almost like a family. So I said that I have a bunch of thoughts on that topic, right? So when we started talking about how the skill level of players in the US has started rapidly going up in more recent years, and I believe there are multiple factors that contributed to it. Number one, social media, right? 15 years ago, there were not as many videos that you can easily get access to. Nowadays, thanks to channels like Maharashtra Carrom Association and Carrom Pierre and so many other folks like Ashraf Khan, there are so many high quality Carrom videos that are easily accessible to players to watch and learn from the very best in the craft. Number two, the pandemic. It really accelerated the growth of the sport, and it also acted as a testament to the fact that Carrom is an any weather sport. You can play it indoors. You can't go out and meet other people. Great. What are you going to do? Sit at home and play Carrom? What better thing to do, right? And thanks to the advent of online Carrom, the entire global Carrom community really got closer together. Going back to what you said, Subbu, a few minutes ago about us being like a family, it is very much true. Name one other sport where a person taking up the sport today as a newbie can meet and mingle and learn from the world champions of the sport. And it's not like a new sport. It's being played for hundreds of years, competitively in its modern standardized form in the last 75 years. So it's a fairly well-established sport. And considering that, the fact that this is such a tight-knit fraternity is truly special. It also is a testament to how this encourages and fosters bonding between various people who play the game.
Well, you mentioned about this pandemic time online game progressing.
Yes.
Even people now ask me question, how do you play online game? Because they have always seen this as an indoor sport. many people are not aware about the Carrom like major events going in United States, but now we have we have to accept only 128 entries, unfortunately.
That's right.
But we will see multiple, maybe more than one nationals or one US Open going for different categories in the years to come.
That is certainly our vision at USCA Subbu. We want to grow the sport at all levels. We want to attract more and more.
Meanwhile, sorry Bala,
Yes, no
Jamil
problem.
Yogesh has given this, let this board go, and that comes, this comes.
And here we go, folks. The first set of the first semifinals goes to the three-time world champion Yogesh Pardesi from India and Chamil Kure of Netherlands would be looking to get back in the game by winning the second set. Once again, folks who are just joining us, we are coming to you live from Frederick, Maryland, USA, where the semifinals of the 2023 US Open Carrom Championships are underway. You're watching semifinals number 1 between Yogesh Pardesi of India and Chamil Kure of Netherlands. It's a best of 3 sets, and the first set has been won by Yogesh, and the second semifinals is happening in parallel between Dinesh Babu of India and Anil Vemuri of India, both colleagues, friends, and long-time rivals on the board. Friendly rivals. You can watch that match also on our same YouTube channel. Meanwhile, Chamil's testing the board conditions as they switch sides after the first set. How important is that, Subbu? When you switch sides, is the board very different? Are the optics different? Does the board behave differently from side to side? What are your thoughts on that?
See, that's another testing the player's skill. These boards comes from the manufacturers, and they check, they have quality checks that the highly too many surface slopes, they discard those boards. They send the best balanced board to our event because we get it from India. But at the same time, there can be, it comes through the cargo, and in a 1 month, the shape changes, correct, the surface.
Right, and the most important thing, I guess, is that the Carrom equipment is all made of natural wood, which is susceptible to all these environmental factors such as weather and whatnot, right? Is that what you're alluding to, Subbu?
Yes, so what these players do is, wherever they sit, they normally see the sides, what they do in this testing is see whether the striker is going in the direction in which they anticipated, straight, for example. The center cut, between the two red balls on near the pocket, they normally see that's the complex area for the cut. So they see whether there's slight deviation in the striker, then they adjust their strokes by a little bit extra force. At critical time, last kind, and you suddenly see, I've seen a couple of boats having that issue, and it can happen anytime.
That's
okay?
right.
So they make sure that they are aware of it by their own testing skill need. And
Fascinating,
and
Subbu.
they adjust.
I've been playing for a long time, and I'm such an impatient player. Every time I have to switch sides or I just start the game, I can't wait to put down my striker and start striking. I guess that's why I'm here in the commentary box as opposed to over there where the action is.
See, look at Yogesh Pardesi. So much he respects this game, like other players. But look at what he did before even picking up his striker.
He bowed to the board.
Yes. So that's the passion. That's his employment. That's his profession. Last 40 years he has been doing this.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
What a giant of the sport.
Yes. So this is what you must love the sport for your strokes to be effective. All games you must play more in Carrom. You must love that game. That's one mantra. Arun Deshpande, the former international coach, he said, first love the game, respect the game, and then play the game. Don't be casual.
Golden words of wisdom indeed. And here we go. Yogesh Pardeshi to strike. Board number 1, set number 2. And I believe Chamal's pointing out the board needs to be brushed a little bit more. There are some lumps of powder that sometimes accumulates near the pockets, which can make it slightly easier or harder.
So here we go. Having won the first game, Yogesh Pardeshi must be feeling more confidence. Chamal needs to get back into the game by winning the second game. So there is going to be a little tense moment in Chamal's game in the second game. So let's watch out how they work it out. Okay.
And let's not forget, these players, they know each other very well and they understand their games very well. Obviously, Yogesh Pardeshi is a 3-time world champion, but Chamal's accomplishments are also extremely impressive. 14 times Sri Lankan national champion. He led the team Sri Lanka to the world title. He has defeated Yogesh in the past, right? So, despite the result we just saw in set number 1, this match is still a long way from over.
Just to remind viewers that Chamal Kore, currently from Holland, but Netherlands, and ex-Sri Lanka, and he has
This is a classic mid-game move by Yogesh. This is when they create positions. And Yogesh has a couple of open coins. I believe that was the queen. Calm and methodical as always. I was chatting with Yogesh earlier, and his answer was, you have a full 15 seconds legally. Why waste not taking advantage of it?
still board number 1 of the second game in progress.
Beautiful. Those long cuts, Subbu, they seem to be so easy when we watch on camera, but when you sit across the board, those guys really seem like a mile away, isn't it?
Great question. Tough question to answer, Bala. You know why?
Why is that, Subbu?
These players can play those strokes blindfolded. How?
Unlike me, who can only play them blindfolded. That's what you mean?
No. See, what happens is, every time, take my case, I have experimented so many shots, but when it comes to match, I still think which way to take. There is so many techniques available from various sectors in the social media.
Beautiful turning
So-
defense.
Yes, that's the very nice rolling out. Now, this particular shot, when you think about the United States players, they have practically everyone has worked on this shot. I saw in this event, people who are not familiar with those shots in the last.
Beautiful, beautiful
4 months.
shot. Did you see that, Subbu?
Yes, yes.
Out
that's
of
a
nowhere,
fantastic-
he just pulled a finish.
Yes, a nice.
Oh my God.
You'll just
That's why
you'll just touch it. And
Yogesh
finish.
is Yogesh. Oh, talking of commentators' curse, I will keep my mouth shut.
Oh, there is every chance that Chamal will win this board. Let's see.
Well, you're not learning from my mistake, for sure.
But he is also known for specialized skill in double touch. Oh, he's going for a cut and trying to release. Cut will work definitely. Striker must reach the coin, and he did
Beautiful
it.
shot.
That's-
Beautiful
that's-
shot.
See how nice. He saw this opportunity.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Brilliant. So Chamal has come back in the second game,
Taking a lead.
taking.
Important. Psychological advantage, perhaps.
So now with his break coming up, it would have boosted his confidence. Chamal
And he
won.
needs that desperately.
Yes. So Bala, coming back to that, Vikas Koshti versus Dinesh Babu,
Yes.
because you also mentioned Sandeep Nerurkar and Chamal Kore.
Yes.
So we need something similar. After 2015, we never heard of another one.
This is
And
the
this-
second $1 million moment.
and
This video.
will be the
is-
video people will be watching now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what happened exactly?
Well,
It was 10-21. 10-21. Koshti's Dinesh's break and Koshti's black. No coin went for Dinesh, and this because unimaginable stroke play.
it
Cut
was a
doubles.
do or die situation. He was one turn of Dinesh's away from losing the entire match. He had lost the first set. In the second set, after 7 boards, he's trailing 10-21, and it's Dinesh's break. And Dinesh's break fails. And when I say fails, he didn't pocket anything, but it was a very good break for the white indeed. But Vikas truly pulled a miracle out of the hat by converting that insane position into a slam and a winning set for himself.
Meanwhile, second game, second board in progress. Chamal took the first board, 1 point. Now continuing with this turn. Let's see. There's a small cluster of coins in the center circle, but so now here is an important thing. He did not cover the queen, so there is not much space to keep this coin. The referee, look at referee how he was positioned, and without touching any coin, he placed in such a position that he covered maximum space available.
And you know, Subbu, you yourself are our resident referee for USCA, and this particular match is being refereed by Atul Bave, a man of multiple talents. He was obviously the ex-president of the United States Carrom Association. He played a key role during the pandemic in continuing the tradition of online tournaments, and that really brought the US Carrom community together during the pandemic. And he's also an international, an ICF certified referee. He has refereed matches in the World Cup, and I'm pretty sure you would agree that the referee's job in Carrom is probably one of the most underrated tasks out there.
Especially when you see this match, 2 top international, one 3-time world champion, another 14-time national champion from Sri Lanka, to refer those matches, the referee has to be thorough in the rules. These players know the rule in and out. Okay, so the focusing, not only the players focus, referee has to focus every turn, every of the players to see whether there is no foul committed, everything is a proper or improper stroke. So it's added little bit of pressure to the referee too. And they have to be always right. Unlike the players can miss a coin, make a miscued coins, but referee has to be perfect as per the rules.
Very
Okay.
well said, and not a lot of people realize that. So, here on behalf. Oh my God! What a shot!
Look
What a
at that.
shot!
He pocketed that. He released the block. He brought the queen inside. Now queen cover, two covers. He might. Oh, he's going. He's not connecting this time.
Outstanding! Outstanding! Beautiful.
Marvelous. That one stroke.
And it's not just a matter of clearing the pocket. He had to bring it precisely to that defensive position.
This reminds me.
Look at that finish.
This reminds me one time. Yogesh told me, when you connect two coins, he prefers single two strokes rather than connect. The reason is the coin you connect, you generally aim towards the pocket, so you will miss the connection. And I saw that what he said, he did the same thing.
He practices what he preaches.
Correct, absolutely. Meantime, second
And he
board,
does practice a lot. I heard he practices some 18 hours a day.
still you saw him before this match.
That's almost as much as how much I have
Before the
practiced in
match.
my entire life, Subbu.
Before the match, between the matches, during lunchtime, quick lunch, come back to the board. I saw all these players doing. Meanwhile, two boards completed. Yogesh Pardeshi 6, Chamil 1. So he had a good break. Again, Chamil, though he won the first board, Yogesh realized not to let this continue. He brought his best game, and look at that last stroke of his, which won him the board. That is a magnificent. You should see there will be replays of that as we continue. Meanwhile, the third board, leading 6-1 in the US Open 2023, event being played in Frederick, Maryland, where we see many international players participating, and right now we are in the semi-final stage, where you see one semi-final, the current one what you are seeing on the screen between Yogesh Pardeshi of India and Chamil Kure from Holland. The other semi-final is also covered live stream in the USCA YouTube channel. So that is between two Telangana players from India, Anil Vemuri and Dinesh Babu. So here we continue. See what Yogesh Pardeshi is continuing. Okay.
Even when they do a pull, many of us intermediate level players, our goal is simply to pull as many coins to our hemisphere or the half of the board. But players like Yogesh, even in those situations when there's a gigantic cluster, they aim at a precise point and have a precise intended outcome. That's what separates them from the rest of the pack.
Great question. This one, great observation. In fact, why? Me and Yogesh were on the air in DPCL, and I had asked this question to Yogesh. He was the subject matter expert, and he said it has become traditional after pocketing 2-3 coins, people pull, but there is no need to pull. There is another way to do that, he said. You can avoid pull and do forward cuts, deep cut. Why you want to bring every time the coins to your base area, correct? You can, if you develop your other shots, you can continue. So you are stressing on that particular point where the youngsters, like you said, we in the United States, we think we are learning. So we think, okay, having done that, next is pull. But Bala, my observation of the top United States players are changing. Their visits to the World Cup immensely contributing to the current generation of players. They thoughtfully see what the top players are doing, how they make sure that the turn comes back to them by blocking one coin. Our players, most of the players are doing that.
Let me ask you another question on a slightly related note, Subbu. I hear a lot of players remarking of late that as a sport, the style of play in Carrom is becoming less flamboyant and more about winning, and therefore we see more of these pulling back and playing conservatively and defenses. I have a two-part question. Number one, do you think that's true, that such a change is indeed happening to the game? And number two, if so, do you think is it a good thing or not for the progress of the sport?
I'm getting into that. It's a good question. You see, we should see where the comments are coming from. Okay, and in the social media, these things go along. In the major events, this is being discussed. People have seen the best of the 60s, 70s, 80s, where the 9-time world champion Maria was in existence, playing live. Suhas Kambli, 5-time national champion. We saw Arun Kedar. All these players used to play great shot. Nisar Ahmed from Telangana. So now, how this change? Indeed, there is a transformation, right? But at that point of time, what was your prize money? Okay, they were all employed. Now there is a lot of prize events. They come, like take our own event. They come all the way taking leave, coming here, and they want to win the title.
So are you trying to say that the stakes have gone up and therefore winning has become more important than proving that you got skills?
See, we discussed Yogesh Pardesi's methodical approach, correct? Taking time for every coin, correct?
What do you think is happening in this game, Subbu? Sorry to interrupt you. We'll get back to that conversation in just a minute. But we just saw a slightly tentative stroke from Chamil.
Yes, yes, the defense, yes.
That was a big board, which I'm sure Chamil could have saved, at least reduced quite a few points.
He has been, what I saw in Chamil, okay, after he moved to Holland, okay.
By saying Holland and not Netherlands, you know that you're dating yourself.
Oh, that both were same, correct, earlier?
They are, but now the preferred term is Netherlands, but that's okay, you can continue to call it Holland.
So, after moving there, I see him participating in more events in the North America.
Mm-hmm.
He participated in Canada. He came for our US Open last year. He played in the CPL. He played in the New Sky event. I think so. So he's now getting some competition which he probably missed when he moved to Netherlands. Right? So we will see him more and more. So whereas the other players are frequently meeting and participating in events in Mumbai and in India, most of the players. So that's one thing not happening in favor of Chamil, but he will come back. He's a great player.
That's right. But at the same time, Subbu, I do believe that it's a good thing for the game that players in regions like Netherlands, they do have Carrom players there, very talented players. For example, my good friend Pim van der Schie, he lives there, hardly an hour away from Chamil now. So I frankly am jealous of folks like Pim who now have access to great players like Chamil to spar with. Playing 10 minutes with these guys is equivalent to practicing for 6 months, I would say, by yourself.
I had a question for Chamil. Why is he not playing in the Netherlands National Championship? Okay. So I'm hoping the Netherlands players will benefit from him, Carrom. If he comes to the United States, I'll be sitting in his house every weekend to go and learn.
I'm not sure if he's going to be there.
Okay,
let's get back to the game.
Yes.
It has been rather one-sided so far. At the beginning of the second set, it looked like Chamil was finding his characteristic fireworks, attacking rhythm that he's known for. Before the match, I had a chat with him and I talked to him about what's going through his mind and what's his approach for the game. He said, my approach is as it always has been. If I get a turn, I want to go for the finish. And I asked him, so it seems to be a trait with Sri Lankan players, and he said absolutely. They prefer to I guess, what is it saying? Offense is the best form of defense, something like that. And he stays true to that all the time. You know, we were just talking about how the game has slowly started to transform towards conservative, but I guess Chamil missed the memo.
Well, you asked me how the game has changed. It's a belief. How you want to approach this game. Ultimately, remember, you have to pocket that coin, win the board, win the game. Then only you continue playing, love the sport, correct? Because you have to win.
Absolutely.
And
Especially if it's a tournament,
Yeah.
right? You're not just playing for practice or playing an exhibition match. The stakes are very high. This is the biggest US Open Carrom Championship we have ever seen in the last 28 years of USCA's existence on several aspects. Number one, the number of players, 128, house full, that's the max capacity. Number two, the number of countries, 8 countries, including India, the official, unofficial headquarters of World Carrom. And number three, the sheer talent that's in the playing field. 3-time world champion Yogesh Pardesi, 5-time women's world champion and current women's world champion Rashmi Kumari, current world number 5 Linus Paul from Singapore, ex-US Open champion RD Dinesh Babu, Anil Vemuri. He has made it all the way to the finals twice, and this time he's really gunning for it. 3rd time he has come so far to the semi-finals. And we had Ish Kumar from UK.
Yes.
We had Bhagyashri More, another player from the women's team of Singapore, under the tutelage of Linus Paul, who is a ex-youth national champion.
He was also
from India.
I believe he was world number 5 in the.
He is the current world number 5, and obviously Singapore national champion and the team captain of the national team. So the playing field had never been tougher. Not to forget the sheer star power from our own USA. We have
Well
US number
shot.
1 Ajay Arora. He was on a streak. A nice attempt by Chamil.
So, an interesting position, 3 black coins for Yogesh Pardesi. First one, without touching the white, that's the beauty, because if it touches, it will block his own coin. So he made sure it doesn't touch. Now he's playing a defensive stroke by taking it, without again touching. But so he's so confident. See, so confident. Now he's thinking, taking his own time, but all within 15 seconds. Once he pockets 3 coins, how
There you
easily
go.
taken. Right?
Just like that. Now, of course,
So-
there was a finish, but having a finish and seeing it is one thing. Actually executing it successfully when it's needed is another.
Well, just comparing our players, United States players, just for that second stroke of rebound, when the white is there, and what you would have done, many players.
I would hope
Yes.
to also bring the white to my base, even at the expense of missing the black.
Yes.
That's the defensive mindset, the
so,
fear.
So why that fear comes in? Because you are not confident of that middle coin, that another black which is on the center of the board, right?
Correct?
So he's so, without touching that white, he took the thumb which was in the middle of the base, then he took a rebound, then he did almost like a center cut position. Meanwhile,
Here we go. Board number 5, Yogesh to strike. He is slowly making his way towards the finish line.
yes,
But Chamil still very much in the game, and he must be a happy man now, because this is rather an opportune time for Chamil to see a failed break from Yogesh. Now is his chance to turn the board around, and a brilliant reverse hook.
well,
That was
Did you see-
great.
did you see Chamil versus Yogesh? I think they played in this league.
Yes.
Swiss league.
Well, they played. I will talk about that in just a minute. Here we go, Yogesh. Another beautiful measured shot without disturbing that Wrong pair, but he doesn't want to quite go for it yet.
So, little bit about Yogesh Pardeshi, okay, his achievements in this carom world.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure if he intended to disturb it, but even if he did, it's probably not very. Probably hoped.
So he is probably sealing this board by taking the queen. If he gets the board, very much this game going in favor. It looks like it's going in favor of Yogesh Pardeshi and little.
Are you saying it's a foregone conclusion already?
Very likely, but some in the past couple of back-to-back slams is possible. So we have witnessed when we saw our own Kosti
Kas
from nowhere
and
he hit a
Preeti
slam.
against Chamil, no less.
Chamil,
Yesterday
yes.
it was a very close fought match. Chamil beat Preeti. I believe the scores were 16-14 and 22-18. And Preeti did hit a white slam and still lost that set, but it was a nail biter. And Chamil, being the gentleman that he is, he was telling everybody that it was one of the best slams he has ever seen. And we'll play a clipping of that as well later today.
Oh, coming to that specific question, Bala, I asked Chamil about his match with Ajay Arora in the Canadian Open. You know what he said? He played brilliant. Ajay played brilliant.
These guys are such gentlemen and sportsmen. They never say, oh, I didn't play well. They appreciate the opponent, credit where credit's due. And I'm sure he could have played better. But that's not what they focus on. They truly appreciate their opponents.
Because they know when they appreciate the certain strokes, they know what it makes for a successful stroke in certain position, correct? Look at that. Fifth board in progress, score 15-1 in Yogesh's favor. Is he having a finish now?
And for folks who are watching,
He will.
the player sitting on the left side of the screen is Chamil Kure, and the player sitting on the right of the screen is Yogesh Pardesi. They were originally sitting the other way around, and after the first set they had to switch sides. The scoreboard stays the same, but that's Yogesh taking the stroke.
Beautiful stroke. Another big board coming. 7 points, very likely. 4 black coin on the board. Having taken the queen, 15-1 leading, now 7 plus.
Ruthless Yogesh. He means business. So Subbu, obviously there's no doubt that Yogesh is an all-time great. However, his prime, according to many people, was about a decade ago, or maybe more, 2006 to 2012 time frame. Those were the 6 years where Yogesh won his 3 back-to-back world titles. And off late, even though he always makes it to the quarterfinals or pre-quarterfinals or some of these big rounds, we still don't see him making it to the finals of the Indian Nationals or something like that. So, do you feel that with this performance here at the US Open, we are seeing a resurgence of the champion?
Now, if I compare the other generation which is cropping up in the carom world, the younger generation, they come out with, in the recent DPCL, 126 slams, unimaginable. But one point I observed was even the Swiss League was best of 3. So there were more number of boards, and the most slams came from new emerging players, and like Zayed Ahmed, Chennai Asif, Abhijit. So their style of play is now, I can't say bindas, fine? They go all out. They're learning in the process. Yogesh Bhai, he knows. He has been in the field for now more than 25 years. So he is going to continue. He is not a person to give up. If you look at his achievements, 57 gold, 10 silver, 9 bronze. That includes, that is in the international carom events. One-time world champion, 2 times World Cup winner, 5-time SARC champion.
Wow.
Okay. And he also won the Shiv Chhatrapati Krida Puraskar winner in 2002. That's a big award.
And many are saying he is likely to receive the prestigious Arjuna Award, an award given to the highest order of award given to sports excellence in
Yes.
India.
Unfortunately, only one Carrom player has been given that, and that is Maria Hridayam for winning 9 national championship. But I won't.
Hopefully, we will see more.
We will see
You know,
more.
we have
and,
so many deserving candidates.
Yes.
And not only such a great thing would be amazing for recognizing the sheer talent and their accomplishments, but it will also go a long way towards promoting the sport. We need more of those.
And just to come back to Yogesh's achievement, he has won 11 gold, 4 silver, 7 bronze in national Carrom event in India.
Unbelievable.
4-time national champion. And in the Federation
Let's see
Cup-
what's going to happen now. He
Okay.
has a huge lead of 22-1, and he's still playing defense. You think he's going to seal the deal, or at least he's hoping to in this board?
What the beauty in this is, Bala, his approach is not changing. He's not getting carried away by the big lead.
That's a very nice observation
He-
and a really important thing to note.
Yes. Don't get carried away unless.
Don't get cocky, don't get complacent.
Yes.
Treat every board, every coin
That's
with
the.
due respect.
Yes. He is respecting the opponent and he is respecting the game.
And Chamil needs to take one more white to save the game.
He has got a coin for a glance. He will need to roll his striker to break that 2 coins. Probably he's doing, I think. Let's see. No, he's not going for it.
Interesting hesitation or a slight pause.
Still he has hope because look at that.
Nicely done indeed.
Yes,
you know,
three
Yogesh
blacks.
doesn't have an easy position. You know.
Yes.
They seem to be open coins.
So that he might go to his right side front pocket now. Correct? There's one opening there, another opening there.
Look at that. Plays it safe. A nice attempt. And he keeps, Chamal's keeping Yogesh on his toes. He doesn't want him to attempt the blacks, but Yogesh plays a beautiful offense-defense combo.
Yes.
Chamal's going for the...
Cut.
What a finish! What a finish!
That's a great shot.
That's easily one of the best shots we have seen today in the semi-finals so far.
So he attempted and he successfully in the earlier game to win a board. You remember, Bala? That was cut and release. This time a cut and a double punch.
So
Both
here we go,
happened
folks.
beautifully.
This is the crucial board for Chamil. Yogesh has already won set number 1 and is leading by 18 points with just 2 boards remaining.
And his break.
And Chamil's got a huge deficit to overcome. It's not impossible, but certainly improbable.
But you also have to look at whose strike it is now.
Not only whose strike it is, who's sitting across the board. Okay. Regardless of strike or not. He has pocketed a black along with the white on the break. It happens.
Well, another observation. Post-pandemic, Carrom got a great boost. Many players switched their breaking style. But not Yogesh. Not some senior players. They stick to the traditional Caesar type breaks.
He's a purist.
He never switched.
And I don't mean it in a bad way. That's out of respect for the sport that he loves. He has nothing against people who choose to do the alternative breaks.
But even some champions like Srinivas has different types of breaks. His traditional, when he struck three back-to-back slams.
Yes. Hat
But
trick.
he also switched to couple of, they're all pandemic-related time.
Subbu, you are no doubt referring to Srinivas Komaravelli,
Yes.
one of
He's
the greatest
the-
players, another
Yes.
one of the greatest players ever.
Yes. He won the World Championship in Maldives in 2014, and he's also the current Indian national champion. So
One of the finest players ever. Here we go. It's Chamil needs a minimum of 6 points or more in this board to survive. Otherwise, it's a done deal for Yogesh. He will be reserving his berth for the grand finale.
nice calculation, Bala. 4 plus 6 will bring to 10.
I can't
Plus-
play
plus
Carrom,
the
but I can
slam
do
is
math.
22. Tie. Well, Yogesh will be thinking, he might have given thought to every angle he might have covered, any possibility of Chamil coming back into the game and the match. So it's very much at this point of time looks like we will see Yogesh Pardeshi in the finals, but it is coming only from the commentator's box, but not from Yogesh. He never take anything for granted.
That's right, and it's. I'm sure it's a lesson that you have to learn from experience. It has to be experienced in order for players to internalize the value of that lesson. It's easier said than done. What a shot! What a shot!
Cut.
You know, a lot of people know these shots. To be able to even attempt them at this juncture and at such a grand stage, and being able to successfully
So did he
pull
cover
it
the
off, he
queen
did.
now? Yes.
No, it was not. I think it was just another wide.
So Bala, do you think that 22-4?
It's gone. The game is over.
Yeah, but the 22-4, such a big lead. He played that shot. Would you,
And here we go, folks. Yogesh Pardeshi just about to become the first finalist at this 2023 US Open Carrom Championship happening at Frederick, Maryland, USA. It's game, set and match in favor of three-time world champion Yogesh Pardeshi. What a wonderful display of skill we have been treated to for the last hour and a half. Chamil put up a valiant effort, but it was just not his day. Yogesh was in supreme flow and form and class. Could not be matched today, and he did not give Chamil a wide berth to try his usual experiments on the board. Subbu, what did you think of the game?
how many boards did Chamil won in these two games?
Oh,
roughly.
probably 3 or 4
3 or 4.
out of the 8 or 9 they played, I guess.
First game went into 8th board, I believe, correct? Second game also came to 7th. So 15 boards between them they played. In 15 boards,
That's right.
almost 70% of the boards was won by Yogesh Pardeshi. But the boards which Chamil won, Yogesh made sure the queen, he had taken the queen. So Chamil got less number of points than the comparable to Yogesh Pardeshi when he was making sure when he takes the queen he gets the board also. So when he loses the board he makes sure the queen is again with him. So that's how the lead never progressed. Fine.
Amazing, amazing. So here we are again. The first semifinals just concluded between the grand champion, hat-trick world champion Yogesh Pardeshi and the 14-time Sri Lankan national champion and the man who led Sri Lanka to its first World Cup title at the team event, Chamil Kure of Netherlands, another one of the finest players of the world, with Yogesh reserving his seat at the finale, which will be happening later today at 2:30 p.m. EST on this same channel. Be sure to tune in. And the other semifinals is still in progress, happening between RD Dinesh Babu of India versus Anil Vemuri, also of India. Both of them hail from the same city of Hyderabad. They know each other very well, both as people as well as fellow players. And they're also long-time arch rivals on the board.
Bala,
And the last time they met, Dinesh Babu emerged victorious. And right now, I hear it's going neck to neck. Three-setter, it's 11-10 after 6 boards. It cannot get any closer than that. And the last time they played, they went to the third set tiebreaker. And looks like history is repeating itself so far. But will Anil be a tad bit hungrier to bag his first US Open victory? Let's wait and see. Please tune in to watch that match. And meanwhile, this is Bala Parthasarathi and Subbu, my co-commentator, signing off from the commentary box of semifinals number 1 of the 2023 US Open Carrom Championships. Please tune in later today for the doubles finale and the singles finale, and we'll be back. Thank you.
yes. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Mic test, 1, 2, 3. We go to same city program versus now
away from the room. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It is noon out here in the wonderful city of Frederick in Maryland, USA. We are so happy to bring the doubles final of the 2023 US Open Carrom Championships to you live. The players are ready and they're all set to go. The wonderful city of Frederick, Maryland is very close to the nation's capital, and it's been a beehive of activity all day with all the finals being played. It's a loaded schedule. We just got with done with the two single semifinals for you. It was a nail-biting finish for both of those semifinal events, and we're so glad and almost set. The players are ready; they're on the board, and we will now bring the doubles finals live to you. Now, who's going to be in the doubles finals? It's going to be the team of Yogesh Pardesi and Anil Vemuri from India, and they will be playing after 2 whole days of battling with 64 teams, high-powering teams. They are the ones who reach the finals, and they will. Anil and Yogesh will be playing Louis Fernandez from Canada and Chamil Kure from Sri Lanka via Netherlands. So they've all made this trip to be with us in the 2023 US Open Carrom Championship, and we are so glad to bring this live. And my name is Murli, and I have a partner in crime, and that is going to be Madhu Kalya.
Mic test. 1, 2, 3. Hello, once again we are back, but we are trying to solve a couple of technical difficulties that the players have expressed. There's a little too much light on one side of the room, it's affecting a glare component. Give us a couple of minutes and we'll be back live. You will see the screens, but the game has not started. They're having a friendly banter out there while we resolve the issues. So stay tuned. This is going to be exciting. Now with the India-Pakistan cricket match going into the reserve day, you have all day to actually be thrilled with what we're going to present. So just a couple of minutes, guys. So Madhu, let's talk about a couple of small things. This is Madhu, what do you think are the prospects? Who's your pick? What is happening?
This is going to be, as you said, Murali, it's going to be a cracker of a game. We have been very accomplished Yogesh and Anil. They have, throughout the last couple of days, they've proven over and over again they are very hard to beat. Having said that, Chamil and Kure, Chamil and Louis, on their day, they can take on any opponent. And also, I'm certain Chamil lost to Yogesh Pardeshi in the single semifinals. I suspect maybe Chamil wants to get one better and get even. So I'm anticipating there's going to be a fight from Louis and Chamil Kure. What I'm hoping here is this certainly goes to a deciding set. That would be fascinating to watch the finals between the two. This is going to be a game of nerves and a game of strategies, particularly in doubles. There's, as opposed to in singles, there is a lot more pay attention to coin selection, sequence, offense, defense. So it's going to be it's a treat. It's going to be a treat to watch, and also for a lot of us, including myself, who is it's a Carrom is a passionate hobby. It's a great opportunity to learn from these stalwarts of the Carrom world.
Hey, well said. So let me ask you the same sort of question in a slightly tricky manner. If you're a betting man, who are you going to bet on in terms of winning this?
That's what are the odds, Murali? You plan to bet? How much do you want to put on the table?
That's a slightly different question, but who are you picking? Don't evade the question, my
No, I certainly I have my answers, but I'm just depending on what the odds are, how much money you're actually willing to put. I might counter and I'll bet, but
So, if I had $1 million, I would still wonder who amongst these two are going to actually take it home, right? So, my my mind says one thing and my heart says a different thing. So, I'm sure that's the case with most of our audience as well. So, I hope it's a humdinger. I hope it's, as you said, goes all the way to 3 sets and perhaps a shootout to resolve this as well. But I think a clear favorite would be, at least at a 51%, 49% level, it would be the team of Anil Vemuri and Yogesh Pardesi. What do you think about it?
no, I think I think it's a matter of head over heart here, right? So clearly, I would like Chamil and Louis to win, but they have a very tough opponent. And as I mentioned, for the last couple of days, Yogesh and Anil have been and found to be extremely tough to beat. You mentioned something very important there, Murali, about shootout. Do you want to explain to the audience and our viewers what the shootout you're referring to?
Yeah, that's a good point. So let's cover that so the audience is informed. If there is a tie at the end of 3 games, the way to resolve the tie at the end of 3 games would be the idea of a shootout, meaning it's pretty much akin to soccer or many other sports where this is something like a sudden death experience. So each team gets to go thrice, alternatively, and who, in terms of a coin being placed in the center and it being pocketed into whichever the 4 pockets. So whoever makes it to the pocket more times than the other team is going to be declared the winner. Should they be tied at the end of 3 tries with 3 each, for example, then we would go one turn alternatively between the 2 teams, and whoever misses while the other one makes is declared the winner. So that's the format of this tournament. It has been well documented and expressed. So the players are ready, the board is set, and we are ready to enjoy this game as much as you do. So let's talk about who's sitting where from your perspective on your screen.
Sure. Thank you, Murali, for walking us through the center shootout and what the format is. On the screen here, I think on the screen, as you see, on the first right, you will see is Luis Fernandez, and then to his right is Anil, which is directly far end of the screen on your screens, and to the far left of your screen, to the right of Anil, is Chamil Kure, and to the bottom left of the screen is Yogesh Pardesi. I think before they start, the referee is going to do the toss, and the toss is going to decide whoever wins the toss. They will have either a choice of they want to start, i.e. they want to actually take the break, or they want to pick the side. Particularly in doubles, side is super important. Depending on the style of play, who you're actually partnering with, they might decide to who wants to sit before, after a certain player. Looks like Chamil and Luis have won the toss, and Chamil is ready to break.
So Chamil is all set and ready. It's going to be exciting. Let's watch. Chamil goes first. It's a pretty good strike. Chamil by nature is a very rapid and fast player.
That was an excellent shot by Chamil Kure, taking the coin that was difficult for his partner. He made sure he cleared that first.
it's a pretty good start to the game. Now there'll be a lot of jousting.
That was a cover for the queen, right?
Hey, Chamil continues to have a great run here. My bad. I was looking at something else here. So sorry, guys. Yogesh is planning the board positions for him and his partner, and making sure when Louis gets his turn, he will not be able to finish the board, and that's exactly what he does. He takes the white and puts it right behind the two blacks. Louis has his work cut out for him to take the thumbing to ensure it's easy on his partner. Will he be on an attack mode, beast mode, or he has to protect? If you look at the board position now, it's all set for Chamil to take capital use. That's a very uncharacteristic miss. Why do you think those happen?
I think I'm curious whether Louis was trying to pocket that coin, or was he trying to bring it slightly towards his frame so that it blocks the two blacks that is in front. I think that's the two blacks now that Anil is going to try to pocket.
It seemed to have served the purpose somewhat. Anil has to be conservative since Chamil has a finish. So once he's comfortable taking care of the ones which have least risk, since the board is open for Chamil, I would assume he's going to protect. This cat and mouse is going to continue for a very long time, and we'll all learn a few things, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. I think it was a wonderful defense there by Anil. He pocketed the coins that he was certain or a higher probability, and then he just simply ensured the white is in a difficult position.
Though whatever Chamil intended did happen, but the board is quite open on the other side. And this happens to a 10-time national and international champion too. It's again a bundle of nerves. Big championship final. Sweat glands working overtime, I guess. That was a nicely done board by both Chamil and Louis. They go up by 6 points.
I was just thinking there, I think it was a good calculated move by Chamil there, because the white that was in Louis's frame was right in the middle. So it is not an easy shot for Louis either. And given there were 4 coins, and the coins were away from the baseline of Yogesh Pardesi, I think Chamil took a chance there. It paid off. Typically, you won't see Yogesh missing those coins, but Murli, as you said, this is the finals, and I guess, as you mentioned, everybody has those when it comes to finals.
Yogesh is ready to start the second board. That was a good opening by Yogesh, but I thought he did miss that second coin. Again, either the board is a little slow, or it could be a bunch of various factors. I think Louis was trying to pocket that, is it not?
Yeah, he was trying to pocket. I think what he's trying to do is he was trying to actually pocket that at pace, because you want to make sure that white was actually at the mouth of the pocket, comes out
This is Louis' point of view, or rather Anil's point of view. I'm so sorry.
It's very difficult to comment here because I have no idea. I lose track of actually what's happening. Yeah, I know what you mean, right?
I think Anil is going about this as methodically as possible. You did.
That was the cover for the Queen, wasn't it?
That's correct.
I think it looks like that white is going to his top right pocket.
Here's just a couple more coins to pocket. That's one. Nicely done. He can go about it to release the white in the middle. He decides to go the other way around. I think he still has a play on it. This is a massively skilled operation by Anil for sure. What you're seeing is very, very difficult to achieve. That was masterfully done. There is 8 coins on the board with 11 points to the team of Yogesh and Anil.
I think that was an excellent.
As you noticed, Madhu, the 4th player didn't get to play at all.
Oh, I think that's the spot on, Murli. At this level, unless it goes to the last coin where you, like I mentioned in the previous board, there's cat and mouse. It's typically if a player has a good break, and most likely either they go for then try to finish themselves in what is called a slam in the Carrom world, or he'll make sure his partners gets a turn to finish. So over the course of this match, I suspect you will see a lot of that where the 4th player may not get a turn.
But that was a super nice example of an extremely skilled execution by Anil Vemuri to close out that board. The 4th player, as we said, did not get a chance to play on that particular board. Though its advantage, Yogesh and Anil, it's 11-6, board number 3 to start, Louis to strike.
I just noticed referee is asking Louis to make sure the racking of the coin, the call is right in dead center. Looks like the queen was slightly out of place. So the referee asked Louis to make sure he moves the queen right into the center. And it looks like they're all set now. We are about to start board 3.
We'll delve into the exactitudes a little bit. I think it's important to the audience to know as well. The racking, as once again Louis is attempting to do, has 2 basic rules: that all the coins need to be tightly packed. The queen is right in the middle, in the center of where the red mark is, right in the middle of the board, and that the main line, which is the white, queen, black and white, which players use to strike, is in line as in connected. I think these are the basic rules the umpire is looking to fulfill before he accepts that the rack is set right.
Thank you, Murli. I think that's very useful information for our viewers. Looks like Louis is now ready to strike. That's a successful strike. And if you notice there, Louis did a very moderate break. He didn't go all out because he is worried that their opponents, they don't want to open too many of those coins and leave the board open.
Once again, I think he either rushed into that shot, but your point about a conservative strike was important. This is probably a reaction from the previous board where they didn't get to play at all. So now Anil is perhaps going to make sure that Chamil doesn't go hammer and tongs, so he removes the ones with which Chamil could have gone hammer and tongs, specifically the coins right above the baseline or the strike zone as we call it, can be dangerously deployed to position your coins in an advantageous position. I would say don't try this at home. That was an extremely skilled shot. Many of us have been playing this game for a very, very long time. Or the other way around. I'm going to try it 1,000 times to make sure I get it right. That is followed by one more, huh?
What a shot that was. What we call in Carrom, it's called a knocking shot, where you use the support or the glance of the one coin to deflect the coin to the pocket. So that was wonderfully executed shot by Chamil.
Geometry in action?
Total geometry. I suspect, Murli, these Carrom players, they must have been really good at geometry when they were in school.
Let's call out one more thing. All of the 4 people that you see on the screen, folks, are professional Carrom players. Let me describe that in a way that all of us can understand. These are players who are employed by their companies to play Carrom and represent their companies or the country in question. And their main job is to play Carrom.
I think Yogesh saw an opportunity there to pocket queen and they covered the queen. Oh, that was another excellent shot by Yogesh, to making sure he pockets one to the top right and he makes the other black easy.
I think we'll run short of words here. We can't keep calling every shot magnificent shot here. And that's what it's panning out to be. I'm sorry for that.
I think Yogesh went there for a finish, had that black being pocketed, he had another easy black to his thumb, and then he would have gone for the finish. Now this is given an opportunity now for Luis to pocket all the open white coins and win the board.
There is sort of a semi-protection in the form of a black on Yogesh's baseline, which could be pretty tricky to try and finish. So Louis has the option and the skills to take that board. I jinxed him. Anil has 3 coins to complete for an additional 5 points added to the score. But this is very, very, very skillful indeed. He made sure that he added to Chamil's woes, and Chamil's defensive efforts have fallen short there.
It was a very difficult position for Chamil to defend that. He did give it a try. Now I guess Yogesh is going to go for this shot and win the board. I guess they're going to actually get 4 points if he's able to pocket this one now.
Oh, that was an easy punch. Missed by, easy as in for their level of the game, it should have been easier. That punch shot into the pocket on your right side is always going to be a little difficult. Um, team of Chamel and Louis get 1 point to move to 7, I would guess. Oh, that is correct. There you have board number 4 is all set to start, and that's going to be Anil Memory's break. Anil Memory and Yogesh lead 11 points to 7.
I think Murli, and the previous board when they were about to open, you very nicely explained the racking. I think I want to actually just mention to viewers here, you saw Yogesh Pardesi there cleaning the powder of the frame, using a brush. It's a very simple brush, a paint brush that we use. The goal is to ensure there are no powder stuck on the frame. If there's a powder stuck on the frame, it affects the movement of coins and striker as well, in terms of how much rebound tension is going to get off the frame. So before they start every break, typically you will see players cleaning the frame to make sure there are no powders stuck.
That's a wonderful strike by Anil. Anil seems to be pretty calm and composed, having won his single semifinals game. It seems to have boosted his confidence. Once again, geometry is in full action, and board positioning is the most important thing in doubles, both on the positive side and on the defensive side, on the offensive side and on the defensive side. What do you think would be the best play here, Malik?
I think he doesn't have any more coins to pocket. I think he's going to make sure one Chamil doesn't have too many coins, or make it easy for his partner. He just pushed that wide to make it easy for his partner to pocket.
And while ensuring they're not giving a quarter away there for Chamil. It'd be nice to talk about how each player's attitude is in terms of their playing styles.
That's a costly miss there by Chamil. He pushed the red. Unfortunately, the black didn't go. Now Yogesh takes the red, and he's going to take an easy cover. That's sitting in his frame. So far, Murli, I feel of all the 4 players, Anil looks the most assured. The other 3 players just appears a bit tentative at this point in time. You saw there in the previous turn, Chamil taking a lot of time before executing that shot.
This is a very interesting shot. I think he was trying to make the... Oh, he was actually freeing up those 2 whites for Anil and give more problems to the other team.
Correct. I think what he was trying to do there is, yes, we know we have open board, and he's kind of sent an open invitation to Luis there and say, yeah, please pocket all of this. And he made sure his partner had both the coins easy to pocket. I think Louis did a very smart move there by pocketing the black that was actually a mouth of pocket, and thereby pushing to white to a position where it's not a straightforward coin to pocket for Anil.
At the same time, I think it's important to acknowledge that the other white that Anil has is in a very nice spot. He could potentially use it as a bomb shot to free up the difficult white. Again, very, very uncharacteristic of Louis to miss that. And Anil chooses not to use, probably it was not in the best place. And with this is going to be something special, folks. If he is indeed going to do something we call a double touch, no, he has changed his mind. That is accuracy at a world class level, folks. Uh, this is something all of us aspire to do, and we try it 1,000 times every single day and still are not successful. And Anil just does it literally like the back of his hand.
Yeah, I think that was a big board particularly for Yogesh and Anil, and they extend the lead to 21-7 for Luis and Chamil. This is break number 5. Chamil to break. They need to win this board and win big to get closer to both Yogesh and Anil.
To me, Louis looks the least confident of all at this point in time. That will change rapidly very soon. As you said, Madhu, this is a very, very important board for the team of Chamil and Louis.
I think for any of these players here, all it takes is one turn, one coin. They just need to feel that they're in the rhythm, then they just become unstoppable. So don't rule out Luis and Chamil yet. There's still a lot of juice left in this set.
That was a wonderful shot. It was a glance on the bunch in the middle to make sure it gives him a better position at that white that he's going to pair now.
What a shot that was. You notice there Chamil is going on a ultra aggressive mode because they have a significant lead, Yogesh and Anil. So he wants to ensure they get a big board.
He has to be careful here though. Right now, should he not protect like he just did, they would have been in a very bad position.
Energy. I think Yogesh there tried to pocket to the top left and then send the other black to his top right pocket, thereby blocking that pocket for Louis.
Hey, we have known Louis for quite a bit of time. He misses that unfortunately, but I did think he had a finish. He could have pocketed both the black and the white together.
That was a costly miss. They certainly had an opportunity there for a big board to win, but now
this is going to be a difficult one for Chamil to navigate, but he will try to pocket that. He missed it. What he was trying to do was clear the path for Louis on his next turn to finish up the board. Slightly unsuccessfully, but Louis has the skills to pocket both the black and white when it comes to it. But this is just talk, right? I'm sure by the end of Yogesh's turn, everything would have changed.
What a shot that was by Yogesh. I think he not only tried to pocket the black, but he made sure white is pushed away, thereby clearing the path for 4 blacks. And he had to take that chance because the pocket to his bottom right is blocked by a white. So Anil doesn't have a way to pocket those. So he had to take the chance to pocket those blacks himself.
We are watching the master in action, and he so methodically gives himself a huge chance to get it all done.
I think that's a good point, Murli. I think you'll never see Yogesh rushing to a stroke. I certainly haven't seen. I've been watching his games for a number of years now. I haven't seen any single time that Yogesh trying to rush his stroke.
Louis still has a finish. Once again, I repeat myself, I have seen Louis complete these boards probably 9 times out of 10. The one which is unplayable or what looks unplayable on the right of Louis, well, he misses that one.
I think what he was trying to do there is push the black away from Anil and then still pocket that white, so thereby giving him a better
But
chance
when-
of pocketing. But
I think the debate will rage on because if you have the confidence to go ahead and finish those 3 coins, you didn't need the insurance that needed to be in play, especially when the score is not in your favor and they end up at 7 and 24.
correct, and I think that's a good point, Murli. It appears now that Louis and Chamil are behind the 8 ball, as they say. I think we need a miracle in the next 2 or 3 boards for them to come back from this position, particularly the way Anil and Yogesh are playing at the moment. And I haven't seen so far between Yogesh and Anil miss a single coin. That they are tempted to pocket, I haven't seen them miss one yet.
There are 3 more boards left in this particular game. Do you think there is room for Chamil and Louis to recover on this particular game, the best of 3, the first of the best of 3?
Anything is possible, certainly, but based on what we see in action in terms of the confidence that both Yogesh and Anil are displaying, and the strategy that they're employing at the moment, it just looks tough, but certainly not impossible. And don't forget, of the 3 breaks left, or the 2 that is left now, one is going to be from Anil.
That's a brilliant play by Yogesh G. Most of us call him Yogesh G. The clinical approach on display by Yogesh Pardesi makes it look so easy, but the accuracy levels are so high. We all would wish to emulate in any sport that we choose to pick. It is years of practice, it's years of regimen, it's years of everything.
I think only you kind of actually, it begs the question based on what you just mentioned, who is your favorite player?
Oh, amongst these 4?
No, who is your favorite Carrom player?
I would say Sri Lanka's current number 1 is Nishantha Fernando. He can pretty much be described as a one-man army. He has a Swiss Army knife worth of tricks in his bag, and he's a pleasure to watch in terms of the speed and accuracy, and it's always thrilling. There are some steady and straightforward games like what you just saw Yogesh do, which is clinical, methodical, perfect. And when it comes to Nishantha's game, it is a different level of accuracy, it's a different level of proficiency that you will see at display. He's my favorite player for sure.
Thank you, Murli. I think Louis there displaying a lot of confidence, trying to pocket as many blacks as he can. He now needs to make sure his partner gets a turn. I certainly see Anil has all 4 whites open. He went for what we call Hail Mary there. I guess the position didn't turn out in their favor. Now Anil has what we call
4
relatively
easy.
an easy finish.
Is that going to cost them much? I'm not very sure about it. Chamil will try and finish this up and make it easy pickings of 3 points, and not today.
I guess we both use the word easy. I think Carrom is a good leveler. As they say, there's no coin that is easy. Every coin is missable, even the one that's at the mouth of the pocket.
Hey, just to remind you folks, we are watching the doubles final of the 2023 US Open Carrom Championships being held here in Frederick, Maryland, and a wonderful city which is hosting this event for the past multiple days. We thank all the sponsors as usual. That is game 1 done and dusted in the books in favor of Yogesh and Anil. They now it looks like Chamal and Louis have a fight on their hands.
Clearly, I think it's good for the viewers here to explain. For after each game, they move
Switch sides
switch sides. They move
clockwise.
clockwise. They move. The goal here is to make sure each team has a fair play in terms of the board. Each board has slopes each side, and so no one team has advantage from playing from what could potentially be a favorable position. Hence, they switch sides after set 1, and then if they go to set 3, they switch sides after they reach either 13 points or 4 boards, whichever comes first.
We'll explain when we come to that pass. Hey, I misspoke again. It doesn't seem to be clockwise. It seems to be anti-clockwise. So once again, saying sorry to my intelligent audience who picked up on that and said, "What is this guy saying?" Hey, the second set was started by, or has been just started by Yogesh Pardesi from India. That's definitely a good break, lots of good possibilities.
He's going to try to pocket that white and then move the blacks away so he has a clear path to the red. He wanted to make sure that he pockets that, moves that white, pockets that, and then now it's a complete path, clear path for him to pocket the red, and then he has an easy cover at the top right corner.
Did you say easy again?
I did.
What would you do at this point in time, Madhu?
I think he's going to make sure his partner has a finish.
Voila, you called it right.
Because Luis doesn't have, he potentially has 2 open coins. The position is not in his favor. Now he has to make sure that his partner gets a turn, which I get is what is.
That was a misexecuted shot, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he was trying to pull that whites away from the pocket.
Anil should be able to clear this up.
I'll be surprised if Shamil gets a turn here.
Once again?
This is a tricky shot.
I'm sure he's going to make it look
space
easy.
there.
He did make it look easy and did find a way to clear up space to finish the last coin and 12 points. That's all 9 carom men on the board. Wow, this is the highest level of execution I have seen. This is turning out to be one-sided, sir.
That's not the start Luis and Shamil wanted.
Hey, let's see how Louis is going to respond to this. Louis has had the highest number of slams for sure in North America. That was a better break from Louis. It does put Anil in a quandary. Anil really doesn't have much of a play. I think now he has to try and see what he can do for his partner and not allow Chamil to go hammer and tongs.
I think what he did there is you want to make sure. I think if you don't have any coins to pocket in doubles, particularly, what you do is you either make life difficult for your opponent, or you make life easy for your partner. If you can do both, it's even better. But if you can't, you certainly want to make a choice between either one of those two options.
Chamil, as I shared with you at the earlier part of this telecast, is a 10-time champion from Sri Lanka, a 10-time Sri Lankan national champion.
I think Chamil there didn't want to go to the cluster and open the cluster. What he did there, he just pushed the black closer to the frame, thereby making it a tricky coin. But Yogesh executed that to perfection and pocketed that. Now he's going to go to the open black that is at the cluster and then see if that opens up any other blacks.
Though Yogesh missed it, he made sure Louis has not many options there. He would play the white off the middle. I think to get his confidence back, he needs to focus on doing the simple things first, Louis, and then that'll boost his confidence to play the bigger ones. He's very, very, very capable of doing exactly what Yogesh and Anil did. This is a very interesting board position, don't you think?
It is a bit tricky there for all the four players. Anil has open coins. He's going to try to pocket all the open coins because you never know when they might not get a turn. So you always make sure you pocket the coins unless it's blocking for your opponent. You take as many coins as you can.
And what you would see Anil do is what I was about to say, play the coins on his base.
And again, that's an excellent attempt because that was a tricky black. What he did is he tried to pocket that black while trying to move the white that was to the right of Chamil. Now Chamil doesn't have any open coins. Now he's going to have to be very careful. Is he going to go to the cluster, or is he going to actually move the black that is at the mouth of the pocket? Now Yogesh is doing the same thing. He's going to push that white away.
Good call. I guess if he still doesn't want to play with the middle of the board, Louis will be forced to take those two blacks out of Anil's equation for the next turn.
I think it's a tricky one because those two blacks and what we call an idea coin, he can release the cluster from either one of those blacks.
That was a very nice attempt by Louis. I think that is very calculated and very intentional. And I think he executed it to pretty much good perfection. I don't think he was able to do as much as he wanted there, Madhu.
The cluster didn't open. Now he's going to make sure he pushes that white away from the pocket.
And does it so effectively. I would definitely like to add that shot into my arsenal. I think there's a lot to do with the speed with which they play, the accuracy with which they play.
I think he's going to just open up the cluster and make it easy for his partner. Oh, what a shot that was. Certainly I didn't see that coming, clearly.
Did you? I'm asking the audience here. Just think of what he just played. I would never have thought of that being a possibility at that moment. These guys are opening this up.
They sense the opponent is a bit tentative. They're going for the kill.
Guys, did you just see that? I didn't even think of that being an option. And he was, with great force and accuracy, trying to pocket the black on the right side extreme. Louis does have a finish. He needs to trust himself. I've seen him complete these boards more often than not. I think the calling now is going to be clearly for him to go ahead and get it done. Get on the board, get on the scoreboard.
They're putting a lot of pressure now.
Am
Both
I?
Yogesh and
Oh.
Anil are putting a lot of pressure on and Chamil and Louis there. I think that's just pure pressure.
That's easy peasy and clear pickings for Anil there. I'm not sure. It is damned if you do, damned if you don't. Should I be offensive? Am I feeling it? When you're not feeling it, even the really easy ones seem to be the hardest mountain to climb.
Carrom, like most sports, is such a confidence game. Clearly, there Louis and Chamil are. They look like they need a bit of luck to the rub of the green, as they say, need to go in their favor too. But Yogesh and Anil are running away with the second match here, so they are 18-0, and it's only been 2 boards so far.
And again, folks, the skill levels of these 4 players are very, very high. 18 does seem insurmountable, but the good thing going for Chamil and Louis is the idea that the 6 more boards left, should they execute, they can still get this done. I think that miss from Anil may prove to be expensive. The board position is very, very favorable for Chamil right now. And
You will see now all sorts of shots coming out. As I was about to say that, Chamil misses an easy one.
Yogesh ji will pocket that.
Only,
We do-
dare I say, do you think Yogesh is going to finish from this position?
I wouldn't be surprised. When I think of Yogesh's play as slow and methodical, I have to mention that it's extremely accurate and precise. I would choose Yogesh to play ChatGPT robot and still pick Yogesh to perhaps beat the ChatGPT robot playing Carrom. I think the team of Louis and Chamil are looking for a spark that lights the flame that needs to burn for them to have a chance here. It looks like instead of Yogesh, Anil is going to complete this, and I would dare say the game is over.
I'm afraid it looks that way,
It feels that way.
unless the Carrom gods come to rescue here.
And it's 2 more, and that's nail, coffin, nail, hammer, and coffin. That's it. The game is done and dusted. It was a wonderful and masterly display from the Indian team of Anil Vemuri and Yogesh Pardesi. It's absolutely chanceless. Was it not the game?
Who got the queen?
Looks like, let's see how many points was gathered. I think they may be short by a point. Oops, did I speak too early? the game score? I did count more than 6 coins there, or was it 6 coins?
I think so, but I think Charmel had got the queen.
So it was 6
hence-
and not 7.
Correct.
So
Hence, there are 24 to nil after 3 boards.
so should I give you a 1 to 1,000 odds? Would you bet on the team of Yogesh and Charmel? I mean Yogesh and Anil losing it?
Not based on what I'm seeing on display at the moment. But good try, Murli.
Try to make some money here. Hey,
Okay, let's see some fireworks now from Charmel.
by the way, Madhu, I did get to play Charmel in the singles yesterday as part of the pre-quarterfinals game, and it was amazing to be a spectator as an opponent. I was more a spectator than an opponent on that game. He was on fire. So I was wondering where this spark is going to come from. It looks like the shoulders have dropped a little bit. That's not the best of signs in one sense, but I would give more credit to the team of Anil and Yogesh to be executing flawlessly right through. I hardly saw any mistakes throughout the game. Did you?
No, I didn't. And for all the viewers and aspiring players as well, it's a treat to watch now how Yogesh and Anil goes about their business. They're leading 23-0. Still, they will be ruthless in how they go. You won't see them playing any reckless shots. They will still be extremely calculative. They don't want to give an inch. And you certainly, when you have your opponent down, make sure you're being ruthless.
Is this the spark we're waiting for?
Let's make sure I don't speak too soon.
That came up a little higher than what I think Louis intended. It was a good shot to execute. He still doesn't have a finish unless he does it Dinesh and getting his rebound done. It's a big board if they get this one. And that probably is the driving force in this particular selection. Let's see what he does. That was a very, very brave attempt and a pretty good one at that. That was a ever so nicely done nudge to give him room to play, have a play on that particular black. I don't know who he expected fireworks to come from. It looks like their tails are up, and I would not be surprised.
This is what I was referring to. They're leading 24-0, but what their angle was trying to do is he didn't want to try any fancy shots, though he's got plenty of shots in his armory. He just wanted to make sure his partner gets a turn. That's a wonderful display of just being controlled aggression is the word that comes to mind. That's a very good display there. It was a good attempt there by Charmel, and I suspect now Yogesh is going to go for the finish and wrap up this set and the match.
And I get to say the appropriate words at the end, which I did so in the previous, thinking it was over. The fat lady never sang, I guess, yet. I'll wait. As easy as these look, I can assure you it's some of the most difficult things that you're seeing. This is a work of art.
That's the match coin and the championship coin.
Now I get to say nail, hammer and coffin, they get it done. I did think they had a chance, but they get the 1 point, and think they're waiting for the formalities. It's 2-0. The team of Yogesh Pardesi and Anil Vemuri from India gets it done nicely, smartly, conservatively, accurately, and beautifully. I'm sure you all agreed. We all wanted a nail biter, a cliffhanger. It is not coming. I did think there was a spark in the first game a little bit, where a few boards were nicely handled, but I think the team of Chamil and Louis, as much as a warrior team they are, it was hard for them to come back.
Yeah, it was certainly an one-sided final. In this instance, Yogesh and Anil turned out to be an extremely difficult challenging opponent for Louis and Chamil, but take nothing away from Yogesh and Anil. They have been, throughout the course of 2 days, they have been absolutely brilliant and truly unbeatable. And it's no surprise. Those are the two gentlemen now. Shortly, they're going to play the singles finals.
So the winners of the doubles event are the ones who are going to battle for the singles glory, huh?
Correct. And
can't wait for that. It's going to happen in a couple of hours. We will let you know. And thank you all for enjoying this ride with us as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Once again, as a reminder, the 2023 US Open Carrom Tournament, or the US Open Carrom Championship, was won by the Indian team of Anil Vemuri and Yogesh Pardesi. We congratulate them, and I would like to mention, not to take away from Louis and Chamil, they were absolutely peach. It's not easy to get to the finals of any tournament, and that to a world-class one like the one we just hosted.
well, absolutely, Murli. I guess the lady luck was not in their favor. Sometimes when you do execute some of those tricky shots, you need a bit of luck. They certainly didn't have any, but having said that, Yogesh and Anil were certainly at the top of their game. So before we go, I'd like to congratulate once again Yogesh and Anil for winning the title, the US Open 2023 Carrom Championship, and Louis and Chamil are the runners-up of the championship. So thank you for all our viewers. We're going to be back in a couple of hours bringing you live the singles action between Yogesh Pardesi and Anil Vemuri.
Hey, just not to... we had a huge program. The next part of the program is going to be...
It's going to be Kids Carrom 101, which is going to be followed, which will start in a couple of, probably 10-15 minutes. So we will get that done and come back to you live in another stream for the singles finals. The singles finals is going to be magnificent. And Madhu, last word.
Yeah, I think, Murli, it's very important for all of viewers to talk about what Kids Carrom 101 is. This is a fantastic initiative by USCA. We're trying to promote the game of Carrom, thereby introducing Carrom to the kids. So we have about 40 kids who have pre-registered, signed up for the event. The kids will come along with their families, and we have about 10 to 15 boards set up here. Each board will have a coach. The goal here is to make sure we inject that interest or passion in kids for the game of Carrom. Carrom certainly teaches you a lot. It teaches you patience. It teaches you about strategies. So it's really important at a young age, kids learn these skills that will come in handy during the course of their lifetime. So we're really looking forward to the kids event.
And if I may just add, it keeps the children and adults away from the screens.
That's a very good point there, and that's extremely challenging in this day and age of technology. We're certainly looking forward to the Kids 101 session. We'll be back after the session to bring you live on the singles event.
Thank you all. Curtains.
Okay. Well done.
Likewise.